Hey guys, and welcome to a second edition of Atheism Info. On last night's show, well, not last night's, last week's I guess, I went over a lot of variegated chapters in the Bible, sort of the first 10, and I guess I sort of rushed over them. So today we will take it slowly and just look over Chronicles I and II. Don't worry, I won't sort of bog you down with all of the boring stuff. This will be like a synopsis made for atheists and skeptics in mind. But there will also be a lot of general history, so don't worry. From now on, I'm guessing I will be discussing the different chapters in more detail, so that you can get a general gist of what each chapter is about, instead of just going 10 at a time, and I indeed may return to the previous chapters if this channel gets enough requests to do the other ones as well. But first, of course, I would need subscribers, so please subscribe. So, let's begin with the Chronicles. So, here we have a little bit of history. In the Masoretic, I hope I pronounced it correctly, texts, the Chronicles were part of the third part of the Tanakh, namely the Pt2, or the writings. Okay, that was boring. I didn't learn anything from that. Okay, so the Chronicle consists of 4 parts. The beginning of the first Chronicles, which contains the general stuff about Saul and how Saul was an asshole and rejected God, or was it God, or was God the asshole? I don't know. But basically, Saul was not favored by Yahweh because for whatever reason, I don't know. Then, and that set the stage for the rise of David, who was the guy who slew Goliath and then also became a king. So, Second Chronicles is a history of David, about how wise and awesome he was. Then the first part is the beginning of Second Chronicles and is a history of the reign of Solomon. By the way, yes, I'm reading this from a piece of paper because I simply can't remember all of this. So if you don't like this, go watch some other video or die, okay? Now, part 4. The remainder of Second Chronicles is a chronicle of the kings of Judah to the time of the Babylonian exile, concluding with the call by Cyrus the Great for the exiles to return to their land. By the way, I have noticed that in the Old Testament, sort of the notion that God, Yahweh, Jehovah freed the Jews from Egypt, which didn't actually happen in real life, is sort of used like the part where Jesus dies in the New Testament, which is also sort of the, oh, you have to feel guilty because Yahweh freed you from the Egyptians, so how come you are worshipping other gods? So that seems to be the issue here. Okay, so let's get on to some meaty stuff, because it seems that you're drifting off, so better get on to some good stuff. Okay, in Second Chronicles, God helps the men of Judah to kill 500,000 of their fellow Israelites. In this paper it doesn't say why, but I'm guessing it wasn't for worshipping him too much. I guess they worshipped that other guy Baal, or built a golden calf or something like that. They always do that. Those Israelites always worshipping other gods. See with them. Anyhow, next we have some even greater stuff, and this I will have to read because this is awesome. These were the names of some of the leaders of Simon's wealthy clans who traveled to the reign of Gedor in the eastern part of the valley, seeking pasture lands for their flocks. They found lush pastures there, and the land was quiet and peaceful. Son of Ham's descendants had been living in the reign of Gedor, but during the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah, the leaders of Simon invaded it and completely destroyed the homes of the descendants of Ham and the Manuites. They killed everybody who lived there and took the land for themselves, because they wanted it good pasture land for their flocks. 500 of these invaders of the tribe of Simon went to Mount Seir, led by Pelatiah, Neriah, Repetiah, and Uzziel, all sons of Ishai. They destroyed the few Amalekites who had survived, and they had lived there ever since. Chronicles 4:48, 43. And to digest what all that actually meant was that the Israelites who Yahweh favored went out and killed some random people and took their pasture land. And this is like, it's not being condemned or being sort of like, yeah, that happened, and that was like, yeah, good for them. Like, it was... Next, we have 2 Chronicles 7:19 to 22. This gem reads like this: "But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and commands which I have placed before you, or thee, if you have proceed to venerate and worship strange gods, then I will uproot the people from the land I gave them. I will cast from my sight this house which I have consecrated to my honor, and I will make it a proverb and a byword among all the peoples. This temple which is so exalted, everybody passing by it will be amazed and ask, why has the Lord done this to this land and this house? And the men will answer, they forsook the Lord and the God of their fathers, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, and they adopted strange gods and worshipped them and served them. This is why he has brought down upon them all this evil." So yeah, this is basically, if you want religious intolerance, yeah, that. Okay, next we have another gem. 2 Chronicles 29:6 to 11. Our ancestors were unfaithful, and it was evil in the sight of the Lord our God. Yeah, didn't they sort of overpronounce the fact that, yeah, he was the Lord and your God? Couldn't they just say, give him one name? Because they keep saying stuff like, and Jehovah your God, and Yahweh your God, and stuff like that. They have to remind everybody who is their God, which is, yeah. Anyhow, they abandoned the Lord and his temple, and turned their backs onto him. They also shut the doors to the temple's foyer, and they snuffed out the lamps. They stopped burning incense and presenting burnt offerings at the sanctuary of the God of Israel. That is why the Lord's anger has fallen upon Judah and Jerusalem. He has made us an object of dread, horror, ridicule, as you can so plainly see. Our fathers have been make a covenant with the Lord, the God of Israel, so that his fierce anger will turn away from us. My dear Levites, do not neglect your duties any longer. The Lord has chosen you to stand in his presence, to minister to him, to lead the people in the worship, and make offerings to him. So, what can we take away from this? These are not just, random bad bits of Chronicles. It's sort of like that more or less everywhere. It's sort of the history of some tribe going out, killing some other tribe, then something else happening, then someone being forsaken by the Lord, then someone dying, then some genealogy, then some more smiting. This is not like a single example. It's like part of the salad, if you will, of the entire thing. So this is more or less it. And if you want to see further videos like this, do subscribe, do comment, do post, do rate. Well, you can't rate anymore, you have to thumbs up. So goodbye then, enjoy yourself.